Hi, so this is my breakout EDU presentation on the game Measuring Música with Mariachi. So the background story is that originally the students are going to pretend to be part of a mariachi group and they performed at a quinceañera night. And now they're supposedly going to be getting paid for their performance and their cleaning when the manager already left and left their payment in a safe. So now the original intention is to make sure they get the folder with some papers that they left to unlock that, and their task is to figure out the combinations and then get their earnings for the night that they just performed with all of their hard work. But this all has the context of mariachi música. So the setup for the locks is as listed. There's a 3-digit lock, 4-digit lock, directional lock, which I put with left, right, left. In this case, an ABC lock, which are a few different letters. And there's also just one final lock I wanted to put in just to give them a little bit of an extra challenge and just for a little bit of fun. So in game overview, in connection to the learning standards, students have the opportunity to refer and use their knowledge of length and width. When measuring, they do need printouts and they do need a ruler. So in this activity, they're going to be considering inches, measuring in inches, and also just their own personal judgment, seeing and comparing lengths on particular items, which one's longer, shorter, and putting them in order. So the resources that they need is that printouts are needed. Printouts are needed. Those students do need access to a digital device such as a Chromebook, a tablet. This can also be played on a cellular device if needed, just because this is just in the context of filling out the form and then just using the printouts to use the measurements and then submitting their order. And so they will be taken to this Google site, and then here's the form, and here are just images that give idea of the context, but these are going to be the printouts. So for number 1, I have here that they are going to click here for the first clue, and then the first clue is that here it says, "Hola, I'm sorry, forgot what I wrote, but here's a hint. I think it might help figure out the 4-number lock." So they go here, they take in here, and here it says ranking of instruments, length from left to right, from shortest to longest, based on what's already here. And long story short, since the trumpet is the 4th longest, they're going to put number 4. The violin is the 3rd longest. The bandolon is the 1st longest out of 1, so they put 1. And then the guitar is the 2nd longest, so they put 2. So the combination is 4, 3, 1, 2. They put 4, 3, 1, 2 in there. And then we move on to the second lock, which is the 3-digit lock. So then they click on that, and then here it says, "I got bored during the transition, so I measured out an ad poster on how long it was, how tall it is, and the last number is how long they measure the sombrero to be." So this is going to be a poster that would have been printed out, and here I put a note: if the poster were to have been printed out in inches, the length would be 4 inches, the height would be 3, and the sombrero would be 1 inch. So then they'd measure that, and then once they put that, they put in 4, 3, 1. And then going down to the ABC lock here, that's when it says, "I organized your music before the party and noticed how some letters on the paper are about 1 centimeter long." That's just given the context. So I think the combination is the first letter of each annotation ordered from shortest to longest. So in this case, the annotation with the shortest word would be F for the shortest word, then V for violin, T for trompeta, I for importante is the 4th to longest, and then introducción is the longest word. So then the combination would be F, V, T, I. So then going to the directional lock, this is when students have to pay close attention. It says that you have to measure the posters, which would have been printed out, from longest to shortest, and then once they order that, they observe on which side the violin is on. So if they see the violin for the longest poster is more on the right side, they put right first, And then for the second longest poster, if the violin is on the right, they put right again, and then so on. So for this case, the combination would be right, right, left, left, left. So then for the key lock, which is just one of the final ones I wanted to put in there, is that they see, oh, never mind, I remember I wrote down the final number on the longest piece of music that you have. So then that's when students use their own judgment and they see which one's longer. And for this one, it asks, what's the name of the longest song? They see El Mariachi Loco is the longest song, so then they type that in. And then they go to the final clue that says that since the number's on the longest song, the back of the longest song, it says it is a single number. I think it might be the height of your longest song in inches, my bad. So then they measure El Mariachi Loco, the printout, which would be in this case 3 inches long in measurement. That's just what the printout would be, and they put submit, and then that's when they view their score, and then you can see that all of these are correct. So then that's how this Breakout EDU game would go, and then after that they would just do a few reflection questions just to understand the purpose of measurement and the importance that precision has on this.